Hi, it's Duncan, the roving reporter for Let's Test. Here again with Bolette and Andreas. I say again because the first recording didn't record, so I want to apologise firstly, and to say thank you very much for giving me your time once again to come and chat for Let's Test.
No problem.
No problem.
So I'm going to try and remember what we spoke about in the past and not try and go over that too much, or not miss it out. So starting with you, Bolette, do you want to give us a kind of bit of background about yourself and how you came to be at House of Test?
Yes, thank you. I was working as a tester in a small company in Denmark, and I um, I somehow heard about James Bach and the RST master classes he was doing. So I went to one, and actually I met Andreas and a couple of other guys from House of Test there. And then I started tweeting about doing a Danish blog on a blog in Danish on software testing and why there wasn't any. And then Carsten, who's also from House of Test, he sort of picked that up and said, let's start one. So we did. And then a couple of months later, I was asked to join House of Test.
Oh, cool. You have to give me a link to that blog.
Yeah, but it was fun to do the blog because we weren't in the same company at the time. But then when we were both House of Test, then it sort of died. And anyway, it's in Danish, so it was in Danish.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been in House of Test for about 2 years, and yeah.
Fantastic. Andreas?
Yes. I was working at a big telecompany. I was a little bit tired of the way we were testing. We were using a lot of automation and more or less only automation. And actually, a colleague of mine went to an interview with the House of Test, and he had another assignment or another job offer. So he sent me instead. He's like, I have another guy that can go on this interview if you are interested. So I went and talked to Henrik, and it was like one interview, and he was like, yeah, when do you want to sign?
Brilliant.
So it was a very fast interview session.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Yeah.
Was that the same for you, Bolette, was it?
Yeah, it was actually, but I don't know if you know Carsten. He was the one. He asked if we should have a coffee and if I was looking for something else and so on. But when I met Henrik was just like, yeah, let's have lunch, and yeah, when do you want to start? That's
brilliant.
More or less his style, I guess.
So he's a good people person, isn't he?
Yep.
I like to think so.
Brilliant. So now you're both at Let's Test. How did you come about doing this session, like mashing up the class and testing?
That's you, Andreas.
I was thinking about the similarities between CrossFit and testing, and I knew Bolette was doing CrossFit as well, so we just started talking about this and all the similarities, and we were at a gathering, House of Test gathering. We just walked around in the sunshine. We just talked about the similarities and parallels between them. Right. And after like 1 hour just walking around and talking, we thought that this should be able to do a workshop on. And then we knew that the Let's Test for this year would be a more crazy program and accepting more crazy workshops. So we thought that this might actually be something they would accept. So we maybe wouldn't send this into a normal test conference, but
yeah.
But this would be good.
What is normal?
Yeah, true.
So can you give us an example of how CrossFit parallels with testing without giving too much away?
Bolette?
Yeah, which one to pick basically? I think there's a many rumors around testing or myths or sort of a people think of testing as being in a certain way, and people testers are like this and testers do this, and maybe they don't know a lot really what's going on. And we were just, when we had this talk walking around, we talked about, but that's the same with CrossFit. There are so many also myths and rumors that CrossFit is this and that, and it's only for people who are like this or like that, and you have to be able to do this and this. And it was just sort of interesting to see, well, how do we go about learning new things, both when we're working out and exercising, but also when we're learning as testers or test leads or test managers. So I guess the talk about how you practice something to get better, and also how you really like something or love something and engage in something. I mean, there's definitely I think both for CrossFit and testing. And we kept saying, but yeah, and it's like this in CrossFit, and it's the same in testing, and then we do this in testing, but you also do it here. So
yeah. Do you think it's do you reckon it's the same chemicals? Do you think it's the endorphins in CrossFit that's keeping you going in testing, or do you think there's different kind of chemical imbalances going
on? I think what's really good about, or for me at least, about CrossFit is that I have to challenge myself, and I have to push myself a little bit more, doing things that I would never expect that I would be able to do. And sometimes I'm not at that time, but I can practice and I could get better. And I mean, testing is, you need a skill set that's quite big or varied. So you have to sometimes push yourself to try things and go places that you wouldn't expect beforehand. Yeah, if that makes sense.
I guess you probably surprise yourself on the other side.
Yeah.
When you've been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing the half marathon, and you think I've never run a half marathon, but it's the crowd cheering you on, don't they? As you kind of clapping you, and you're like, yes, I can do this, and they're going, don't, because you've got your name on your chest as well, and it says Duncan. They're going, go on, Duncan, you can do it, and you're like, yes, I can. I'm in amazing pain right now, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But it is, yeah, when you get the other side, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I'm interested. So, go on, Andreas.
No, I just say that for me, it's a lot of this the variation in CrossFit. There's so many different exercises and so many different skills you can practice and become better at. As soon as you learn something, there's always something new. Like I'm trying to learn this handstand walk, for example, which is more or less impossible. But there's always these things you can practice. And the same for testing. There's always another thing you can learn, another tool you can learn, another. You can focus more on performance, maybe that you haven't done before, or whatever. It's so broad, and you can learn so many different things.
Brilliant.
I really like that variation.
So hang on a minute. Did you say handstand walking?
Yeah.
So I'm on the hook, right, for coming to your session?
Yes.
I'm on the hook for coming to your session. You're not going to get me handstand walking, are you?
We'll see.
Okay.
Can't say anything.
No, I'm interested in some of these myths. So I need to start doing some exercise now, so that I'm not completely out of breath, shall we say, and nauseous when I come to your session.
But that's an important thing to note, that to be able to attend our session and also to be able to do CrossFit at all, you don't have to be in a certain shape. You can always scale to your level. That's very important. So people shouldn't be scared of our workshop. We will always scale to your level.
Okay. Good. So you'll scale down for me, yeah?
Scale up. Yeah.
You're going to make an example of me.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So okay. So now we're at Let's Test And you've got a sweet slot, I think, haven't you? Are you straight after the keynote?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Brilliant. So everyone should be energized and ready for it, yeah?
The thing is, we don't know if we are having two people also from House of Test, or there will be 50 or so. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. We talked about this last time as well, also to see how we handle the scaling of it, because it's going to be different, of course, with a really small crowd or with a lot of people.
Of course, yeah. And yeah, trying to keep control of that situation. Oh. Do you need to control it, or does it control itself?
It depends on your personality.
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. I mean, I would say that will be completely fine, and that will just work out.
Yeah.
What do you say, Andreas?
Yeah, we need to adapt.
And control.
I'm so intrigued to see how this will work out, because I know when I go for a run, I can't talk. If I try and talk, then I'm all over the show, and my breath and then my pace go. And so I'm really interested to see how you're going to have these coaching moments whilst doing handstand walking.
Yes, I'm looking forward. Yeah, Andreas doing that as well.
Yeah, I've practiced a lot of talk upside down. It's very, very hard.
Yeah. Brilliant. And so you guys have been to Let's Test before, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about Let's Test that makes it great for you? Do you go first?
Oh,
people.
I lost
just the people and the location is an awesome combination.
Right. Yeah.
Just that you can't really go anywhere else. So you're more or less stuck at the place. But there's so many good people, and everyone is just willing to share knowledge and discuss on whatever topic. And it's very open atmosphere. This is awesome. You can just sit down wherever and just talk to people.
Yeah. Brilliant. I agree. Did you catch the question, Bolette? We broke up then. Was it saying what makes Let's Test great for you?
It's just well, what Andreas said basically. It's just the location, the venue, the people there, and I mean, what's the most challenging part is actually to go and rest and not feel that you're missing out. And this year it's going to be even harder.
Yes.
So.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I've made sure, so I'm like helping out facilitating. I've tried to make sure that I'm not facilitating like a 3 a.m. session.
Yeah.
Like a 7 a.m. session the following day. You've got to be a bit wary.
Yeah.
But you know, if you exercise, you can go on longer.
Is that right?
You don't need that much sleep, so if you come to our session, you can participate in more.
I'll probably be having a sauna after your session, I think. Fantastic. Right, so is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap up?
I think just want to emphasize what Andreas said earlier, that you don't have to be, really fit and used to exercising all the time. You can have done absolutely nothing of the sort for the past years and still join in. I mean, it will be scaled, and it is for everyone. I think it's important, speaking about rumors and myths also, that you have to be in really good shape to do CrossFit. That's that's not true. And yeah, drawing parallels back to testing. I mean, you really have to start somewhere with everything. I mean, even if you're a good tester in one area, then there are other areas and places where you can learn new stuff. And so we just wanna invite everyone, basically.
Yeah, we all have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But you should be prepared to get sweaty.
Good.
Yeah.
So bring a towel. Okay, that's awesome. All right, thanks ever so much again, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll make sure I bring my PE kit. Oh, is it something we could do barefoot, or should we bring trainers?
I would recommend the trainers.
Trainers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you do barefoot running and then, yeah, you're into that.
Yeah, but there are a few people that do barefoot running, aren't there?
Yeah.
So would someone who barefoot runs be okay coming and doing it barefoot because their body's used to being barefoot? Would you recommend that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
I would say so.
brilliant. Cool. Bolette, Andreas, thank you ever so much. Look forward to seeing you at Let's Test, hopefully before the session, so we actually get to have a proper chat before I'm out of breath.
Yeah, good. Okay, thank you, Duncan.
Okay. Thank you. I
Thank you.
really appreciate it. All the best. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
You
Bye-bye.
too. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.